All right,
Ty's
stop
like,
talking. Hey,
Ty's
guys,
probably like, what the hell's Airheads? Have you ever heard of
stop.
Airheads, Ty? Besides the
No.
candy, the movie? You've never seen the movie? God, you gotta
That's
watch
like early 90s.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Adam
quit talking
Sandler's
about
in
how
that.
we really voted for Kamala. We're live now. We can't tell them that.
Mm.
We voted for Trump.
I love Kamala.
That's funny. All right, let's do this. So we've got Ty Jenkins, 3-time teen games champ, along with, is Dallin Pepper the only other one that did that, Ty?
On the guy's side, yeah. I'm not sure about the
Okay.
girls.
Cool. He'll be at Wadapalooza next. And then we've got Pool Boy, Mike, a staple, always reliable. He will next be at Fittest of the Coast.
Yes, I will be.
Cool. And then we've got Seth Jump Ship Training, who has been around. He is the OG and the multiple affiliate owner. And I appreciate having all you guys here. We want to talk about Rogue. I'm super excited to talk about this. Just kind of the format we're going to go through is going through the workouts and kind of giving our thoughts on them, and then an idea of who we think could do well at them. You guys are going to be a lot more well-versed in this than me. So we'll call my perspective the spectator perspective, and we'll call you guys the experts. But hey, that's okay. I'll just be the facilitator. Let's get right into it with quicksand. So let's start with Seth here. Seth, what are your thoughts on this? What's gonna win the workout here? Obviously, we don't know the whole thing. So what are your initial thoughts here?
So for quicksand, I'll tell you what, I'm terrible at predicting who's going to win. I like to talk about like how you're going to have to attack this.
Do it. I like that.
Yeah. So I wish I had more info on what that sandbag carry is going to look like. But when you think about 10 rounds of 400 meters, like you're just trying to pick your best endurance athlete who also has that like grittiness in them, because it's one thing if you can run distance. It's another if you're willing to like grind through something that's, I'm presuming it's going to be heavy-ish. I don't know what the distance is, but you know, it's Rogue, so most things end up leaning slightly towards being heavy. So if I was going to look for somebody, I'd look for someone who's very good at pacing, has a good strong endurance background, and also has that like toughness grit to them.
I like that. Pool Boy, your thoughts?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. We don't even know the distance, though, do we? Or the sandbag?
Let's take a guess.
Or the weight?
Let's take a wild guess. What do you guys think if you had to say a range, what do you think it would be?
God, it couldn't be more than 150 meters, right? Or 200?
No, I don't think it'd be that long even.
If it was like a 250-pound bag for guys and like 175 or 180 for girls, it could be as short as like 25 meters. You know
That's
what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it's like, so it really depends on the details of that. That's why I just kind of say like
the
4,000 meters of running is enough, no matter what the sandbag is, light, heavy, distance, whatever. The 4,000 meters of running is still going to be a big enough factor that you'll know who's going to hang and who's not based on that. I mean, if they give the guys a 350-pound sandbag, that's a different story. You're only going to have a few people that move it. But, you know, assuming that they make it doable, yeah, I don't know, but I would just lean towards the running being the bigger factor still.
Yeah, I can't imagine the bag being any more than 150 pounds. I know like Rogue tends to like just program everything super heavy, but like for 10 rounds.
Well, if they call it quicksand and they want it to be quick, it's not going to be quick, but if they want you to be quick with that too, then you're right. It'd probably have to be that or lighter.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. So Ty, hey, let me ask you this. At what point would you say, what would this workout have to look like for you to change your perspective that, hey, the sandbags are going to matter? We're not just looking at the best runner here. This is getting heavier. This is getting to be tiresome. What weight would we have to be at or distance in order for you to say this changes my perspective on this workout?
The immediate number that comes ahead is like 200 pounds and 100 feet plus. That's where it's going to separate. Like, I'd probably have Emily Rolfe winning this one as long as that sandbag stays decently heavy. And just someone, you know, she can suffer a little bit. But I think, you know, if that sandbag's super light, then Tia's the best runner in the sport, and you got to hand it to that. Same on the guy's side. It's like the best runner's just going to win if that bag's 150 pounds and that sandbag carries not very long. But if we start seeing some heavier stuff, then you got maybe some of the guys that are good with odd objects start taking over, especially in the later rounds, because the back's going to get tight. The hamstring's going to be crushed. I think it could be really fun, but we could be looking at 2 completely different workouts depending on weight and distance.
Yeah, it's hard to
Agreed.
pick someone, but what do we think about? So, I mean, Ricky ran really well on the run, the run swim event at the games. And then when I think of Ricky, I think of grit. So is this somebody that we would say would have a potentially, obviously, depending on what it looks like, who could do good at this event?
I have different picks depending on the distance of the carry, but
I really want to
like
hear that.
Under the longer or heavier load, I had Chandler Smith and Ricky Garrard as 2 to stand out. Just gritty guys that move things well, that are going to hold their own on the run. Ricky's going to do more than hold his own on the run, but I think the heavier that bag is, the better it is for Ricky overall.
What do you think about Fikowski? Fikowski's always been a good runner, and a bigger guy can usually shoulder. Or I don't even know how they have to carry the bag, right? But I would just say shoulder a heavier load, so to speak.
Yeah, I can't zoom in, but that's funny. That's the third name I had under the like heavier, longer sandbag was Fikowski.
There you go.
So yeah, longer arms always help with especially if it's that Husafel bag. The longer arms help too. So
yeah, I mean, Fikowski immediately came to mind just because of the running, and then Ricky. I want to pick Sprague for something. He's the fittest man alive. I think that if it's lighter, he definitely would have a chance on this. But there's events I more see Sprague potentially coming in the top 3 or the top 5. It's hard to really see him winning. But I mean, we also didn't think he was going to do as well as he did at not just the CrossFit Games, but the events of the CrossFit Games individually. So,
well, if you look at Chad. Chad's a grinding workout, right? Maybe it's a little long. Well, I don't even know how much longer. Maybe it ends up being similar time domains, actually. But if the sandbag's light enough, he is a grinder. He can move steadily with moderate loads forever and ever. And he is a good runner. So I think he should be somebody that's in the mix with the unknown of what that sandbag situation is going to look like.
This is a good point. Hey, at a high level, I haven't been at a high level. Some of you guys have. He had pneumonia last week, and I've had asthma problems and bronchitis, and all I know is if the lung stuff knocks you out of the gym for a week and then you come back, that first week back is brutal. Now, I don't know if maybe at his age and his
did he say he's competing? I forgot about that. Is James
he's in
still?
And he looks good, but it's hard to imagine he's at 100%. I mean, people have injuries and stuff too, but the lung stuff, I don't know.
Yeah, I was looking up like last year's the games leaderboard, and I think that obviously the closest event we can kind of somewhat guess is comparable to this. It would be like that track and field event. And yeah, Ricky obviously was on like the top list for me in terms of who could win it amongst the men.
Yeah.
And then athletes, we got James Sprague, Patrick Vellner, both beating Brent in the track and field event. So for an event like this, James Sprague also could be another.
But the track and field was a separate from the mile run, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is different, but I'm just
so
trying
much different in time domain.
Yeah,
that's the biggest factor.
That's the problem.
The time domain.
But I think Sprague is a good. I mean, I think that's another one that, as long as again that bag doesn't get too heavy, he could definitely be a top contender on this workout.
Yeah,
for sure.
I want to make him a dark horse on this for sure.
Is there any possibility that since Brent is like retiring, he just says fuck it and just juices himself up for like road and just takes all the Carter takes all the trend and just.
Is it work that fast? If so, let me know.
So trend, so trend would make you worse in cardio. But I'm for it. Some controversy and just seeing him go nuts.
Okay, finally, how about Carterine and like just pounds of 1,3 diathamine?
I don't know what that second one is, but Carterine's what everybody pops for. So the GW, that's maybe just take a bunch of that.
You could just do some blood doping with that like transfusion in a bus before you go into the event. Cycle
that stuff
blood,
was crazy when I read about that stuff, dude. Dangerous. Okay, so we've
close your ears. You don't need to hear it.
Yeah, you're too.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Too young. All right, cool. I like it. Anybody? Hey, did you say Rolf on the women's side, Ty?
Yeah, I think she's got a good chance. I think Tia's got to be the favorite because she's the best runner, and we know she moves odd objects well. But
I heard a lot of people saying
That should be the rule of this show. You're not allowed to pick Tia. She's too.
But
safe.
no, that's the thing. On the other shows, everybody's picking Laura. I think I heard everybody pick Laura for this one too.
No.
Not on 4,000 meters of running.
No.
I think the rule
I
should
could
be you
be-
have to pick Tia for every
Yeah,
event.
right. I mean,
Dude,
I was just
Laura
picking
will
Tia.
trip on the run, accidentally land upside down, and then that's it. She's done.
Wow.
She just can't. She
I
just
hit
can't hold
this.
anything upside down. It's going to ruin the whole event. And she's done.
Is that a Heat 1 prop bet by chance?
It should be.
Oh, Trish is smart. She said I could zoom in. Look at that. Now, Trish, I thought you were like 70 years old. I'm starting to not believe you. All right, North Sea Tiger. I'm assuming that's a sea of Scotland, I'm guessing, and there's something behind that. I have not looked that up. Dude, guys, these events, I honestly can't. I'm excited about CrossFit again. I don't know about you guys. I'm really excited to watch these, including this one. I think this is a really cool event. So we've got 32 cal in the Echo, 16 ring muscle ups, 8 squat snatch at 225, and 6 shuttle sprints. So the unknown here is what? Just the
Distance of the shuttle.
yeah.
Ty, what's your max snatch?
285.
Would you dream of doing any reps touch and go in this workout?
Not after those ring muscle ups. Maybe if
Okay.
it started with that.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, just seeing from somebody who can actually do fitness what they would do here.
Hey,
I don't think we'll see-
you fucking
I don't
ask
think
me
we'll
what my
see-
one
Oh,
rep
oh,
snatch is?
oh yeah, oh yeah. Sorry about that.
Mhm.
You son of a bitch.
I want to. I actually do want to know, Pool Boy. Tell me.
Yeah, it's not 285. I'll tell you that.
Okay. All right.
And I'm not
I
18.
honestly, anybody over 200, I think. I mean, obviously,
Hey
I'm
Ty,
at a
are
lower
you
level, but-
doing no shave November? Is this you like 2 weeks in?
He's deep in.
Yeah. I mean,
Hey, dude,
it's
I
been
was like
6
that
days,
until like
so yeah.
yeah. I was like that until I was like 30. So, you're good. All right, so we got the unknowns, the shuttle sprints here. Ty, let's start with you on this one.
Dallin Pepper all the way.
Well, first
Echo
off,
bike, ring muscle up, and then a heavy bar. I mean,
is there anything in particular that you think is going to make or break the workout? Like when you're looking at this, what are you looking at that's saying, hey, you need to be able to do this? And obviously there's a weight factor, but what are you looking at here?
it's going to be if someone has the volume to go unbroken, but won't fail a snatch, or if they're smart enough to break once and then just be really disciplined on those snatches. I think we'll see someone try to go unbroken and then either fail or have to take long between reps on the snatches, and that's where it's going to be lost. That's my initial thoughts looking at this. Obviously, I can't move 225 like some of these guys can, so I would break early, but I know that there's a lot out there who that 16 ring muscle ups into those heavy squat snatches is no problem.
What do you think about Noah Olson as a sneaky name, just because he won't really be affected by the ring muscle ups like whatsoever? At least, I haven't seen
That's
him really
interesting.
compete hard until,
Yeah.
he kind of didn't do it this year. We went team and things were messed up. But previous years, he would have just knocked these out and it wouldn't be a question.
Yeah,
That's
and
interesting.
I think that's a good. I didn't have him down, but I think that's good.
Nobody's really talking about him or Chandler as much. 'cause we
Noah's
haven't-
notorious for like just killing himself though, usually in the first half of like these
That
kind
is
of
true.
workouts. And then he
But
just
how long is this workout? 5 minutes?
that's the thing. It's gonna be short.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, the
Well-
longest those shuttle sprints could be are 50 meters down and back because that's about as big as the venue is. So
Do you think they sprint those 32 cows?
I think 80 RPM probably for your Dallin Peppers and Ricky Garrard's. Maybe like 75, but I don't think it'll be a sprint, but I don't think it'll be slow.
80 RPMs is putting you at what, 460 watts? You think?
I think so. I need to look at watts. I never do.
Andrew Hiller made a good point about watts. I think he said take your wattage, divide it by 20, and that's what you're going to get in that minute. If that
I think
makes
that's
sense.
about right. Yep.
Gotcha. I just know 68 RPM is 17 cows a minute. That's kind of that's where I gauge it from. But
Oops,
that's
I
a
didn't
good
back up.
watts would make
Wait,
sense.
what is it? 68 RPM is 17 cows a minute.
Yeah, ish.
So if you multiply your cows by 4, you should find your RPMs.
I don't know if it always works like that because I don't think 40 RPMs is 10 cows a minute.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm more asking, so maybe it's worth trying, figuring out. Yeah. What about girls, Tia?
Alex Gazan.
You think?
As long as that 160 snatch isn't too bad for her ring muscle ups are
Yeah.
so good. I think she's going to be the least affected. 16
But
is a
are-
lot for the girls.
Sorry to go back,
It
go
is.
back, go back to the men real quick. Does
But
Guy
she
stand a
was
does
getting-
Guy stand a chance on this workout?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, yeah, but you never know what you're gonna get out of him, dude.
I know he's just not aerobic. He's just I feel
Yeah.
like that's the only
But,
thing.
I
He
mean, this
looks
could be a
like he
5-minute
can
workout.
sprint.
I don't
He's
know,
the
man.
only one that I would say could probably rip those 8 touch and go and then deal with the consequences after. But I don't know if he can after coming off the bike and muscle ups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Sorry, back
And
to the women.
he's good at muscle ups too, isn't he?
Everyone in the field is going to be
Every
good at
guy
muscle
is
up.
good at
Okay.
muscle ups. Yeah. Just a
Every
matter
guy
of
is
how much.
capable of doing that unbroken. It'll be if it's
But-
smart to.
Yeah. Agreed.
Ty, is it smart too?
For me, no, because that snatch is going to kick my butt if I don't break it.
What about for anybody? What about for your pick, Dallin Pepper? You think he will do it
I think
unbroken?
it is broken.
Okay, interesting. Wow. Okay, girls, what are we thinking here?
I think Alex Gazan and then maybe Ariel Lowen as a just solid on all these
She's
movements.
strong.
Doesn't have a really standout weakness in this workout.
I don't know. I
We
kind of
haven't mentioned
like.
Gabby Magala.
I was
going
going to say I like Gabby
to
McGowan. in this
Yeah,
one.
I like Gabby on this one personally.
I was going to mention her in the first one too, but
I mean, she's everywhere, dude. Like she's just she's the one that's really I feel like is threatening to Laura and Tia.
I mean Spiegel has a shot because she never locks out a ring muscle up, so she'll be really like
Yeah.
fresh going into the snatch.
No way. No way. I don't think I feel like Rogue is even a notch up maybe with judges. I feel like they're not going to let people get away with that shit this year. I feel like they're going to put the hammer down on that
Hey, you
stuff.
know who
Sad.
else
They
is
put it
like
down on the qualifier, didn't they?
Oh, they hammered people on the
Yeah,
qualifiers.
that was,
Okay, that's
I
what I
saw
thought.
that.
Yeah, they were like, I mean, they did not give a single double under that wasn't deserved in the qualifiers. They were hammering people. So, yeah.
you know who else might be sneaky is Taylor Williamson. That girl's a fucking
Oh
tank.
yeah.
So true.
She
yeah,
is
I forget
such
how
a
her
tank.
rings are, but yeah, she's so strong.
Hey, Augustus says to check your phone, Seth. He supposedly sent you something pertinent. We'll find out how. Oh, what is it?
It's
Okay,
a
I see.
EchoBike conversion chart.
Nice.
Ooh,
Oh, nice.
I
So
want
yeah,
that.
so 40 RPM. Just to answer that question, is 4.6 calories per minute. I'll just jump to 50 is 7.6, 60 12.1, 70 is 18.6. So it goes up not equally as you might think. 80 is 27.4 and 90 is 38.9.
Ooh, my math was right. I converted it to watts and it came out to be like 20. Would you say 27?
Yeah, he has watts on there too. So yeah, you're right. It's the exact divided by 20 as you would say.
Augustus, I want that. Can you DM that to me? Por favor.
I'm sure he will. Okay, so hey, I have a question that's not random, but not really related. How many events do you guys think Tia will win if you had to say?
6.
How many events
Dang.
total are there?
9, I believe, and we've had
she'll
7
win.
announced.
She'll win 12 of them.
I'm gonna say 4 myself.
Augustus, you asshole.
All right, so let's see what do we got here. We talked about women, we talked about men there a little bit. Let's get to Braveheart. So we've got 8.
What do you think the complex is?
Yeah, I know this is the big thing. Well, Seth, why don't you tell us?
I want
If
your
you had-
guess,
What do you
Grant.
want?
No, you tell me,
All right,
Grant.
all
What's
right.
the complex? Let's go.
Well, it's got. I mean, you've got to be doing wall walks to the wall facing handstand push-ups, of course, and there's got to be a deficit, right?
Maybe.
That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, I'm not an expert here, but that's my guess.
You can't ask Grant. Grant doesn't know anything. He's only been doing CrossFit for like a month. He doesn't even know the workout King Kong.
No, I do. Philip,
He's probably right.
it's true. Something crazy has happened. Like on my phone, I never used to be able to see any grays. I had a few in like 2 weeks. I got these, like they all came. So you look pretty good there, Seth, but watch out, man. You could just go to sleep one night and wake up gray.
I'm here for it. It's no problem.
It is for me. I don't like it. My beard was all I had. I don't have any hair. All right. So what are we thinking here? I mean, that is the obvious choice, right? I don't know the exact details, but that will likely be what it'll be here.
And you don't, in terms of deficit, you don't think it's going to be like that funky one that they did at the games where they're like head had to pass a line. You remember that?
Yeah.
Because I didn't like that.
Yeah, it's hard to standardize. I like the idea of that you can't touch your
Like,
head
do
on
you-
the ground. So
Like,
it's
do you
constant tension.
think they'll just do it like a deficit to like nothing crazy, but like to plates,
Yeah.
but they'll still be able to like have to touch their head to the floor?
What do you think is more likely if they made this, like, if they really took this out of the box, which Rogue has the tendency to do sometimes?
Yep.
Can you imagine like those little ramps that you like roll like a 4-wheeler up into the back of your truck, like individual, like, but you don't have
That
to have a
would be
crazy grade, just a little bit of a grade, right? And you have 2 ramps you got to walk up, but at the top there's space between where you could do your strict handstand push-ups, and you could make them out of whatever. Like, could you imagine something like that, or would they keep it simple and just give you like a small set of stairs or plates or whatever you have to climb? Because I can imagine they actually make this wall walk really the movement, and if they add the handstand push-up at the end, maybe that's not really the feature of it, but the wall walk itself is the feature of the complex.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would love to see that, because it's different versus what we're just obviously like there's the obvious prediction, which is similar to
Right.
something that I said. I would love to see something different. Yeah, I think that's awesome. I don't know what will happen. Go ahead, Tosh.
I also think we have I think there's handstand walks later, like maybe one of the last events, but I'm waiting for the day that you do wall facing handstand push-ups into a handstand walk that make you walk off the wall. I don't think that's this workout, but if anyone's gonna do it, Rogue might.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And we all agree these reps are way too low to just have it be a normal like
Yeah.
wall walk into a handstand push-up.
Yeah, for sure.
At least
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
The 375, 260, like, to me, I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah,
But, like,
I know,
to them,
right?
It's really not when they
It's
used to,
still a lot of weight.
they had a
There's
workout
got to
with
be some.
405, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead,
that's
ask
good.
Ty what
Yeah.
his back squat PR is. Go ahead.
Okay, what is it?
Who? Sorry.
You, Ty. What's your
445, I think.
Yeah, which is like low normal, I think, for games athletes. What are they?
Yeah, it's low. I think
Yeah.
most guys are around the 470 to 500
Yeah.
mark.
Yeah, it's not that low though. It's like less.
No, it's
not
great.
more than 10% off. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine.
would you shoot for unbroken on the back squats, Ty?
Yeah, just because I mean, as far as we know, there's no leg interference on the wall walks. So as long as there's nothing crazy on the wall walks where you suddenly have to use your legs, I think 8.642 at that weight's doable. I mean, I wouldn't do it as fast. I'd be pausing at the top of every rep, but I think it's doable.
Well,
Hey,
whoever
what are the-
wins,
what are
is
the
gonna be
chances?
unbroken.
What are the
Okay.
chances they take the barbell from the floor?
Oh,
Oh
that's
my
so
So
That,
stupid.
dude, that would change
Oh,
everything.
I hope not.
Justin's got a PR is clean.
I know.
Yeah.
That'd be fucked.
Oh my god,
Dude, trying to watch the bar go from the front rack to the back rack at 375.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
watch. I'd just check back in after.
Elbows be snapping.
All
Yeah.
right, so is this at this weight? I still think it's enough weight that it's going to affect some people. I'm trying to look at the field here. There's going to be some people who don't do this unbroken, isn't there?
Yeah, I think maybe a
Haley
Danielle
Adams.
Brandon, which is hard because I think if this wall walk complex is like a longer complex, she has a good chance of doing well. But she had to break the 405 last year or 2 years ago. I think she ended up failing a rep actually. So we don't know if she'll hold on to 8.642 or not.
Hey, that's a great point. So, like, I know I was joking about taking the bar from the ground. What happens if they fail?
Strip it. You had to
Holy
strip it to whatever you could power clean back up and then
Oh, okay.
reload it.
Big consequences, basically.
Wow.
And maybe we're overthinking this too, because like the way Ty explains it, with like most, we'll say more than half can do the 8.642 unbroken, at least more than half.
Yeah.
And so if those
definitely.
back squat reps are reasonably quick, you wouldn't want every wall walk complex to take 15 seconds, because that's not really comparable. So if they want this to be short and fast, like a hustle back and forth, we may be overthinking the wall walk complex too. It might be real simple. Get up, do your handstand push up, walk right back down. Like, you might see this be another faster workout, but who knows?
Could be.
And how fucked would it be too if like they made a stipulation where like, hey, if you fail a back squat, you're done.
Ooh.
Oh, I would actually kind of like that.
Yeah,
it
I
just
don't mind
adds
that.
it's that like unknowable aspect. Like now you're, yeah, that's interesting. I think that'd be cool.
I wish I like that you said that because I wish higher stakes events like the games in this did more disqualifying things like that. Like years ago when they had the sprint around the obstacles or whatever, if you stepped on the line, you were eliminated, sort of thing. Like they really make you focus and dial in the way that you execute, right? It's not just your fitness, it's your fitness plus your execution. And so you have to be dialed in. I like that better. I think the stakes should be higher at higher levels. So I think that's
Like Jackie
it's
Pro
really-
23. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite games events ever.
exactly. Yeah, I like that.
I had
Well,
a really big sleeper on this workout. I think Jorge
Yeah, tell me.
Fernandez is going to be top 3.
Dude,
in this
it's
workout.
so funny that you just mentioned that because I was looking at this. I'm like, there's a few things that Jorge's good at, and I do think he could be top 3 to top 5 on this.
Gymnastics, and the dude is so much stronger than people give him credit for. And I
Dude, he's
think
an
he's
absolute beast, strength wise.
gotten
Yeah.
the yips before and made bad jumps in competition, but I think he is so strong. So this could be a really good one for
I
him.
like that sleeper. What did we say about women? Did we say anybody that we think? I mean, obviously we
Tia.
don't know it all, but yeah, that's a safe bet.
I think if she goes unbroken, Danielle Brandon, if that wall complex is long, you have to give her a handstand workout. I mean, that, or I think Alex Kazan's another good one. She posted some like pretty solid back squats the other day that made me like just surprised a little bit because I know that's not been her forte in the past. But
Yeah.
she looks strong right now, so that could be a good
Yeah.
one for her as well.
How's Danielle Brandon's handstand push-ups like with a deficit compared to walking on her hands, which are obviously two very different skills? I don't know. I'm asking if you know.
I'm unsure, but I think if we see a ramp like you were talking about, like if that ends up being the thing, then I think Danielle Brandon's got a good chance.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I don't remember how she did in Echo Press in 21. That would be one of the only comparisons I think we have.
Well, now I gotta look that up while you guys are talking. And this is not going to be a good workout for Laura, pretty much, unless it's really. No matter what, it's not going to be a good workout for her.
No, she cries on this one.
Yeah,
Unless if it's just a wall walk with a handstand push up at the top, she might have a good chance.
she'd
But I
have to
Yeah.
go super fast on the squats too, though. But yeah, if it's a sprint, like if it's that very short time domain, and you're just pumping out back squats like fast, she can definitely do that.
She just can't take like a bottom 10 anywhere. She can't do that because like
Yeah.
I've just seen people talking about like, oh, well, Laura dethroned Tia. Tia doesn't have bad workouts. She doesn't have to win. She doesn't have bad workouts. Not possible. There's nothing you can throw at her really, unless I'm overlooking something. And so if you have a big weakness, like a deficit handstand push-up, like Laura's had for years, you against a field like this, she can't take a bottom 10 or there's no way to make those points up.
So Danielle Brandon got capped on the Echo Press. She got like
Wow.
28th.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
maybe not. Maybe she doesn't do too hot if there's a deficit in this one.
I sort of had a feeling that was the case. She's good with her arms extended, but yeah, the pressing not there.
But I mean, that was
All right.
also the one that I was talking about, right? With the funky standard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does
Funky but
Spiegs,
fair.
does Spiegs stand a chance at all? Or is it just the handstand that's going to kill her?
Yeah, maybe same case as Laura. Just the more on the wall, the worse for her.
Well, I mean, she also doesn't squat below parallel, so she's fucked.
What did you guys think? And I'm not trying to gossip. Like I actually do.
Yeah, you are.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
here-
gossip.
Here it
Let's
goes.
go.
All right. I'm trying to gossip, guys. What I'm more saying is I actually like Danny Spiegel. I do. I met her at the games and she was super nice. She actually seemed genuine despite things said. For some reason, it bothered me just a little bit seeing her buying donuts and drinking beer on Instagram. I said this to somebody. I sent them a message today, and it's kind of that thing. I feel like with Danny and Guy, I feel like they have so much talent that never gets maxed out. And it almost is that is like a portrait of it for me. There's just people in the sport who seem to take it much more seriously than them based off of interviews we've heard with Guy and just sort of, I'm sure they're both hard workers. You can't be at the level they're at without working hard, but Did you see that, Pool Boy?
No, I'm blocked.
Oh, it was it was actually on Ariel's, but I don't know, man. Something about eating like she had like six donuts.
But I mean, to be fair for Spiegs is
Yeah.
she's said numerous times like she doesn't necessarily give a fuck about like competing
That's
or
true.
like doing well. She just does it because
Yeah.
I don't know. She just enjoys it, I guess.
Well, it's part of her platform, right? That's part
Mhm.
of where she gets her fandom, and that's
Good
where
point.
she can get sponsors. I mean, and I'm not even speaking specifically to her or Guy, but to what you were saying, Grant. There are athletes who are incredibly gifted and hardworking, but when it comes time to compete or put themselves out there, they either may not have it between the years the way that they need to really execute, or B, they actually don't care that much. Like they want to be there, they want to participate, they want to continue to qualify every year to elevate their personal platform for their own gain, which is totally fine too. I'm not judging, but you're going to have a whole spectrum of athletes across that board. People who only care about winning and couldn't care less about their following, all the way down to people who are just doing the bare minimum to continue to get sponsors and make money. And there's nothing wrong with either side of it, but you're going to find that spectrum still.
It's a very
It
good
appears you
perspective.
have a rebellion in your chat.
Which one?
I don't know. There.
Oh no, I know. I saw that. They
But no, I had classes today, Augustus, unfortunately.
Hey, Augustus is going to be. He comes out there once a year. If you're out there, you guys will have to work out. Augustus, you'll smoke him, but he's good. Hunting haggis. I love this workout to watch. Like I can't wait to watch it personally. I don't know if you guys are the same. All right.
Haggis, huh?
It's my favorite
All right.
workout. Yeah.
I already know Ty. I talked about this with Ty earlier, so I want to hear Seth's perspective selfishly because I've already heard Ty's. You guys will probably agree. What makes or breaks this workout, Seth?
The log muscle ups are interesting, obviously, but 30 or 60, I should say, thrusters at 135.95 is no joke, even for these guys and girls. But I like, just as a fan, any play on Jackie. I've always been a fan of all the different variations of it. I just think those three different variations of movements are so well suited to be together. And so, yeah, I mean, the log muscle ups will be a big separator. I would imagine, I've never done one like this, but maybe Ty, you can speak to it. I would imagine the size of your hands actually play a big difference in the leverage you can get over the top of the log to connect bigger sets or not. I don't know, but
and the size, I mean, the brand of your grips, things like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
I haven't done it on wood, but I've done it on the yoke, which I've heard was very similar in diameter. And yeah, it's not even grip strength; it's like wrist strength. It's very unique.
It's basically a false grip over the top, right? Like a false grip on a bar, sort of.
Yeah. You have no hope of getting your thumb around it. So yeah, like just letting the grips lay flat and throwing it over and trying to keep as forced over as you can so you can stay on top. It's pretty tough, but we have some. I mean, this showed up 2 years ago, or maybe last year. So we have some
last
guys
year, didn't it? The log muscle ups.
I think it was 2 years ago. I think.
Was it? Okay.
I made a post. I think it was. Oh wait, I made a post about it on my own Instagram about the log muscle ups because I thought it was so cool. But maybe it was last year.
It's awesome.
It was 2 years ago.
Okay. Are they going to deadlift again? We know they're going to do something heavy. I know I'm going slightly off topic. The events we don't know. Do you guys think it's going to be a deadlift again? I heard some people say that they thought it would be.
I want something strong, man. Like they're over there. Like I want a sandbag or a Atlas stone, something crazy. But
Atlas stone. I like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it would be really cool to actually like put them through something similar of like what the strongmen do. Like, those Atlas stone carries, and then they have to like put the heavier ones on the taller like pillars and shit like that. I think that'd be really cool for them to do. Or even like God, what's the one where they like literally have to deadlift like a truck and just hold it for as long as possible. Like shit like that would be really
They have the circle too. You got to like Zercher carry like a big lever and you got to walk around like a clock.
Yes, that would be sick. And as soon as they drop it, they're done.
Oh,
right?
Dude, yeah.
God, that'd be so sick.
FYI, this was supposed to be short. It looks like we'll go a little bit over. I know Seth has a time limit. If anybody has to go and we're like talking, just feel free to say peace and Now everybody knows. If
I'll give you
anybody's
my 10-minute warning. I'll give you my 10
Okay,
like right now.
perfect.
This is my 10-minute warning.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
We got the 10-minute warning. All right.
Cool.
So on this one, we're thinking that, and Ty said the same thing. He thought the log muscle ups will be the interesting factor. I wanted to pick Sprague as a dark horse, just because obviously he's very good at rowing and stuff, but I don't think rowing will be a determining factor. I messaged Sprague and I said, "Hey, why not you for this event?" And he said, "Why not me?" ? He said, "Haha, maybe. I've never done log muscle ups. They seem hard," or something like that. So I said, "All right, I'm not picking you."
Fair enough.
Yeah, I just like the way it's more thrusters. I just really like seeing the cerebral side of James in the last couple events there at the games. The way that even Fikowski blew up and Sprague didn't. Obviously, that was a shorter time domain than this will be. I would have, yeah. But still, I still think he could be surprising. It depends on the log muscle ups.
Yeah.
Okay,
It is
so
a condition.
Give me Laura Horvath on this one. Rock climber, she's going to have the advantage with the grip on those log muscle ups. And plus,
wait,
thrusters
she does
rowing
rock climbing.
instead of
I
rowing.
didn't actually.
Yeah, she does a lot of climbing.
I didn't know that. Okay, I got it.
I think she was a
Wow.
national champion.
She's
That's
good.
crazy.
Yeah, I think she was like that good at one point when she was younger.
Wow.
No, but the thrusters is pretty much doing like a right side up, upside handstand push up, so she'll be done.
Hi, Savon Podcast.
Wow. Okay. I'll go with that. So I'll pick Tia.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
I mean,
I think
I'm
Gabby
just
can
going
do
with
well
Tia on
too.
everyone. Yeah, definitely Gabby. I mean, look, most of these, other than when we talk about the, the handstand stuff, Laura, Gabby, and Tia are safe bets for the top 5. I haven't seen anything yet that they wouldn't be good at, other than Laura and the handstand stuff. So, I like. What about Vellner for event 4?
Pat him down. I think that and the sideways pegboard, which we'll get to, Vellner's got an advantage being a gymnast, just crazy pulling strength and maybe a little more like unorthodox pulling strength, like stuff we don't typically see in CrossFit. He's going to have an advantage on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I have my opinion on that workout too, but we'll wait till we actually get there.
Okay.
I almost jumped in and just derailed, so I'll just wait.
We're almost there. I think it's 6 or
Devil's Tail we're on. So Devil's Tail, obviously the thing here that we're missing is what the rope climbs are. I didn't know I was going to do a preview show, or I probably wouldn't have watched the ones that I did, but what they're saying, the guesses out there are that it could be a thick rope. It could be 20 feet. Nobody really thought that it was going to be strict. Do you guys have any opinions of what this could look like?
I think it's just going to suck. I don't know if those rope
they're
climbs
saying
have to
clean
be
and jerk
different.
too. I mean, three rope climbs at 15 feet regular seems. What do you tell me, Seth? What do you think?
Well, this is actually my first time seeing this workout. I haven't even looked at all these super close yet. So correct me if I'm wrong. The sear bell is the implement you can stick your hand in, and there's a handle on the inside. Is that correct?
I think it's the big fat dumbbell.
The big fat one that looks like the old.
Oh, like the strongman.
It's got like the balls at the end, and it's gonna be thick. Yeah, like the circus thing. So it's gonna be grip.
Oh, you think it's that?
Yeah.
I was picturing like the one they used, I think it was last year. That's literally just what like Seth described. It's like just a circle, and then you literally put your hand in it like it's an anus, like you're doing a prostate exam or something.
That's what I thought it was when I first saw it, but I don't know. I don't know who's right.
It's here. It's the I got it right here.
I mean, they've used both. I've seen the other one you guys were talking about, but God, that would be awful.
Gus says it's a fat bell, so it's probably just a. Okay, thank you. Oh yeah, okay. So that is way harder because now grip is also a big factor again. Because I assume the handle is going to be thicker, so to devil press that. So
this is it right here.
Yeah. So typically you would do circus press with that, which you see everybody loaded with their elbow out with the dumbbell on their back shoulder. That's for circus press, shoulder overhead. And I don't know how they're gonna devil's press those. So now I just want to see what happens.
They would have to let them. They would have to let them stop at the shoulder, right?
They're going to
on the way to the clean.
That's what I was thinking. So you do That's exactly what I was thinking.
Wow.
2 hands on the way up
Nobody
and then
said
single
that.
arm overhead. Yeah, that's exactly what was in my head. That's a great call, Ty.
That's awesome.
I'm just
Nobody
like,
has said that.
if
I love
if
that.
like handle is thicker than a standard dumbbell, 100 pounds seems really tough to get to the shoulder.
Impossible with one hand.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's my opinion. These guys might be super good at grip strength, but I don't think I could do it for 42 reps.
I mean, we saw some athletes, some of the best in the world, cycle the dumbbell snatches at the games this year, and they didn't make the heavier dumbbell look that easy. You want to double the circumference of the handle and expect them to cycle this after a burpee? Like, that seems outrageous to me. So I would imagine Ty's dead on. The second hand goes on it as you snatch it, and then use one arm to go overhead with it. I can't imagine another way.
That's nuts. Yeah, that makes me think the rope climbs will be normal. Like, I don't think it'll be a thick rope.
You could still have maybe not thick, but you could still do like maybe 1 set's legless and 2 sets are, I don't know. They could do any variation of it.
Jorge posted, does the rig look tall? I haven't seen any like official pictures of the venue, but 20-foot rope climbs, like that one extra pull could add up.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Well,
That's cool,
let's just say 20 foot. If it's 20 foot, who do we think's going to win? Or will be in the mix?
Based on what we're just kind of discovering here as we talk, I'm just going to throw out Chandler Smith for the guys.
Oh,
he's
like
a
that.
pretty good upper body puller. He can manhandle awkward weights like nobody's business, and he is better. I mean, he can do well in longer time domains, but if you give him a short one and he can go, he is an animal. And there's a burpee component, which he may be one of the best burpeers too. So I'll just throw his name out there for fun.
It is a Zeus rig, so maybe looking at 20 foot if they make him go all the way up. They could just make him go to 15.
Real quick, because Seth has to go in like 1 minute. We're going to go right back to that. Seth, since you got to jump out real quick, your thoughts on event 7 here and then event 8. I just want to get those before you pop out.
Sure, no problem. So event 7, as far as thoughts, I like the workout. I love the midline challenge of it. If I'm going to pick somebody, I'm going to go with Ricky Garrard here. His ability to fly up and down a pegboard makes it look effortless. And then his ability just to crush midline exercises is like as good as anybody. So combine them all with his engine. It's a little bit longer with the amount of calories and GHDs. I would pick Ricky for this one. That would be the only place I'd slide him in to win. Girls, I'm going to pick Tia.
That's a safe bet. Okay, and we've got and then the last event before Seth jumps ship, tightrope. We got
okay.
Yeah. We don't.
Ooh, I wonder how heavy.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too.
Like chain. There's gonna be like chain with barbed wire wrapped around it.
It's probably the Kronos rope or something.
Let's see. Yeah, so this is. It's kind of long. Am I not looking at this right? It's kind of a longer one.
Yeah, 3
rounds of that. Fuck.
90 seconds with the jump rope, we'll say, just because it's heavy. Let's see, the single arm. Oh, overhead with 100 pounds.
Yeah, dude, isn't that insane? Could it be? Wait, single arm too. Wow.
With that same fat bell that you guys just described, there's no fucking way. That's why I don't think it's that.
There's a way. Okay. I don't have a pick for it, but I'm just gonna say can't wait to watch it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, this stuff is fun, but what do you think about that, Ty? Can you freaking do that?
I mean, again, it comes down to like, is that handle so big that you're going to be fighting like your forearm to keep it above your head? Because single arm walking lunge with the 100 overhead is hard enough with a normal one.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, I think we see people break even though it's just 50 feet. That's 16 steps. I think we see people break at 25.
And that's 16 steps if you're flawless too. People stumbling around trying to catch the imbalance of it. I would imagine everyone's smart enough to use one of those powerlifting wrist wraps on that, because that would be the only extra help you could have to stabilize that if they allow it. Because that is, you're right. If your wrist goes one direction or the other, you're either going to lose it or you're going to be stumbling around. It's going to be really challenging.
Yeah.
But all right, guys.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It. Great chatting with all you guys.
Thanks so much.
See y'all later. Yep.
All right. Later.
See you guys.
Ty is too professional for the show. It is funny. At 18, Ty is by far the most mature. He's
I don't know about that.
Everybody who I say, hey, do you know Ty Jenkins? They're like, yeah, he is so wonderful and hardworking. All right.
I'm glad that's my reputation.
Yeah, it's a good thing to have. All right. So where were we at? We were at okay, we were making picks on Devil's Tail. And Augustus, it won't let me click on the links. I don't know if any of you guys can. If you could tell me what to search on Google, I will, and I'll pull it up.
Can't even copy it.
You can click on links when you're in the chat. I can't do it when I'm running the chat, unfortunately. All right. What were we saying for picks here for Devil's Tail?
Oh yeah. So it's like that
You see it?
silver strongman looking dumbbell.
Oh.
They used it I want to say last year or the year before. Yeah, last year they used it.
Okay, yeah, I can go in the YouTube chat.
That's still a pretty thick handle though.
Thicker than a typical dumbbell. Oh, maybe we're about to see.
Okay, so he said go into my own chat. That makes sense. And then click on it.
I think it might actually be a normal size width for that weight.
Sense. And then click on it. Oh,
Because
Still going to be tough either way.
It's a picture of what I assume is Tia, and her hand barely fits around it.
whoa, that's like Inception right now.
Yeah, we got.
Okay.
Oh yeah, their hands all the way around it.
Interesting. So it's a little bit thicker.
But do we know for sure that's the? I guess that's the name of it right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
I mean,
What's the name of the bell I'm thinking of then?
I don't know.
oh, the Hulk hands. That's what they called the event. I don't know what the official name of it is. There's Lazar doing it. That picture on the side.
Yeah, I agree, Kenneth. It does not look like a true what I'd looked up. It does not. More like it mimics it, but it's kind of adjusted for CrossFit. Cool. That's interesting. Okay. So for that event, let me go back to that. We've got Devil's Tail. We've got the rope climbs. Let's just assume they're 20 feet. Let's go with that. We've got 21 single arm, the weird bell press. We got the rope climbs, 21 again. I'm sure the other arm, I would guess, and then the rope climbs. I'm trying to think on this one. Who do you have a pick, Ty? I'm gonna rely on you.
I think Seth's saying Chandler Smith is a great pick. Upper body pulling and pressing, and then a dude who can just suffer a little bit. And then I didn't know on the girls. I had Emily Rolfe just for that same reason. Like she can just hurt, and I think this is going to be a 10-minute plus workout. Just 'cause I think those Devil's press are going to get bad.
Man,
and she can
interesting.
still win the fight.
Yeah, I was wondering about the time domain, but yeah, so this is going to be one where we see people like kind of hands on knees a little bit in between as they get through some of the presses, the Devil's presses. Maybe not quite as long as me. My hands are on my knees for quite some time, even if it's a 70-pound dumbbell. All right. I don't have a pick for this one. It's not a workout that I know enough about for me because I've never seen this done. Pool Boy, do you have any opinion on that or no?
On who's going to win this one?
Yeah.
God almighty.
I'm going to say on the I honestly don't know. This one I'm at a loss.
Dude, I have no idea.
Augustus, you tell us who's going to win. We'll move on. But I still want to know who Augustus thinks. All right. So this is an interesting one. You're into that the gymnastics type stuff here. Is pegboard considered gymnastics? I guess.
Oh, sorry, I'm distracted on the rogue site trying to find those dumbbells I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, do your thing.
And I found them. I found them, and they're called the Rogue Thompson Fat Bells.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Rogue Thompson Fat Bells. The one with the Augustus, the one with the heavy 100-pound dumbbell, single arm, Devil's press, and 9 rope climbs all split up. We were trying to pick someone for that. Seth said Chandler. Okay, so we've got the whole midline thing going on. Oh, okay. Sorry, just like you weren't paying attention.
I think Justin's got a good chance at that too. He's got a really good overhead.
I wasn't paying attention to you. I'm just kidding.
On,
All right.
on the event
As long-
5, you said Justin for event 5.
Yeah, as long as it's not a strict press, he's got a good overhead.
Yeah, that's a good point. He's got long arms though. Every time he snatches, I'm like, dang, dude, you have long arms.
So is the pegboard going to look like what everybody's had in all their stories and stuff? Do we know that's what it is? Did they tell them or something? Everybody's
Rope
got
posted a
what's
picture
that
of
thing
it.
called? Oh, okay, they did.
Yeah.
So Ty, what do you think that's going to look like? Is it like when they say one pegboard, is that one time across?
I don't know if they're going to make them. I mean, there's an even number, so we can assume they're going down to one side and then coming back the other direction.
Okay.
Because down and back, I think, is a lot just from what I've seen of some of my buddies messing around with this.
That would be,
Jorge-
what if everybody bought that thing and they just did something totally different? That'd be cruel, and I'd laugh.
Yeah, that would be funny. Jorge posted some videos.
Jake is the worst. FYI, he's going to make fun of everybody in very inappropriate ways. I'm sorry, Ty. Ty doesn't need to hear that stuff, Jake. He's only 18, and he snatches way more than you. All right, go ahead.
But yeah, like Jorge posted some videos and like made it look pretty smooth. And I think the athletes are going to have a decent handle on it, but I still think 8 trips total is a lot. So yeah, I don't know. I had Justin Medeiros because of his midline endurance, and I know he posted that he built one at his shed, so he's at least had some practice on it. And then I think Vellner, like I mentioned earlier, just dude's pulling strength is just unreal, or is his pulling volume, and this is going to be a bicep burner with that ski and then the pegboards. So I think it'd be tough.
I knew I shouldn't have said that word in front of Jake. All right. So, is there any resemblance? The midline climb at the games was a deadlift, GHD, right? Ty, do you remember that event at the games?
Yeah, deadlift, GHD, rope climb, ski.
So there's some similarity there. I
think Brent could also do really well on this too.
Yeah, definitely. Didn't Vellner win? Yeah, Vellner won.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, he won from like the first heat.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Oh, that's right, Haley. I remember Haley and Emma battling for second. I didn't even think of Haley.
Oh, yeah, she's great at GHDs. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I think T is the obvious choice, but now that I think about it, I like Haley. I don't know if Haley can beat T on that. But yeah, Vellner's a great pick. I don't remember.
Hopper could do well in this one too.
Yeah, he was second. Look at that. He was second and Dallin was third. I mean, both of them are the type who can be they're very well rounded. So I think
they're both athletes, so the ability to adapt to something new, they might have an edge on some other competitors.
Yeah, I have to pick Dallin for something, so I'm going to pick him for this. I don't think that's going to be most people's pick, but I'm going to pick him for this. And then other than Tia, I'm going to say Haley. It's not the same event, but I remember being super impressed when her and Emma Tall were battling it out for second there. So those are my 2 picks. I'd
Horvath again because of that rock climbing background. I think that's going to translate well for the pegboards. And I think I had Barnhart as a sleeper on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Just pulling endurance. I mean, and some core endurance. I think it's going to be a lot of pulling.
This is their first one back in how long?
That's why I wasn't too sure, but
it's just the unknown of it. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It's the same thing with Chandler and with Noah, right? It's hey, are they in as good of shape doing teams as they were individual, or did they get back into it? I mean, Noah's out there running or doing triathlons or whatever, and that's super awesome, but it's not going to translate to this as much.
We'll see. I mean, he may be fitter than ever.
He might be.
Wait, who are we talking about?
He might be.
Noah Olson. He just ran an Ironman like 2 weeks ago.
I will never take my hat off. I don't have hair.
Thank you, Augustus. I appreciate it.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, he sent that to you. All right. So I like that one. We've got tightrope. Okay. That was the one we were talking about with Seth before he left. So you've got the heavy, obviously it could change. I don't know. Let's just assume it's heavy. What's that heavy? What's the heaviest rope? Pool boy, the one you were talking about earlier.
It's called a Kronos rope. I don't know what the weight is, but it's pretty fucking heavy.
Do
I
they
think
ever
those cables are
introduce?
a pound a piece? They're pretty crazy.
Not saying that they would for this, but do they ever introduce equipment at the event rather than beforehand?
What do you
Like
mean?
it's like a new jump rope and you don't see it beforehand at all. It's like this is the introduction of this rogue jump rope, and this is the first time you're seeing it.
I'd never seen the Thompson bells until last year, but those might have been around. I just never seen them.
Yeah.
So they might introduce new stuff.
I think if I were to look up like sponsors of this event and we see RX Smart Gear on there, then yeah, it very
That's a
well
good
could
point.
be like a.
Mhm.
Actually, ooh, here are the sponsors right here.
Ooh.
Sponsors of Rogue. Ty, you have anybody in mind for this?
Yeah, I just feel like, I mean, we haven't seen it. We didn't see Adler at the games this year, so it's
Yeah, we haven't
hard
even
to
brought him
pick
up.
for a lot in comparison to how fit like Dallin, Sprague, Hopper
Yeah.
are right now. I think he's gonna win at least one event, and so I chose him for this one. Just this is gonna be super aerobic by the end because your shoulders are gonna be so full of blood, and you're jumping on the double unders, and he's, I mean, aerobically maybe the fittest out there. And then I had Noah as well. I mean, just shoulder volume. The dude is great at volume, and we know he's been at least keeping up with his fitness side. So as long as that lunge isn't too heavy. And then girls, I had Megala, Laura, and Gazan, all possible to do well here. Just depends. I don't know how those girls are going to handle the 70-pound dumbbell. I don't know if we've seen that weight overhead for the girls yet, but could be pretty nasty.
They're gonna
Agreed.
cry. They've done that. They've done that weight before overhead.
On single arm walking lunge.
Yeah, there was a year, or no, never mind. I lied. I'm sorry. I was thinking of the men had the 70s that year. There was a year at regionals where they did one overhead, one on the shoulder,
Ooh, gross.
but it was 70-50.
It's going to be another fun one to watch. I mean, all these events are great. Grant,
you know what regionals
yeah.
are, right? Grant,
Yeah,
you know what regionals are? Okay.
I've had it explained to me. I was not around, but yeah, no, I get it. Actually, I was. I think what was the last year that they did it?
2018.
Okay, no, I wasn't. It was sanctionals then, probably. What was the last year of sanctionals?
I think they only did it 1 year, didn't they?
Okay, what went away in 2021 at the beginning when I started?
Yeah, that was sanctionals.
Okay, so that was going on as I started, and that was but yeah, no, it was before my time. I've just had it explained to me by like Eric Carmody, who's a master's athlete now from Invictus. He's been at the games twice for teams and twice for individual. He's kind of the guy who explained all that stuff to me, regionals and whatnot. In fact, that workout I did today, I guess it was at regionals too. I didn't realize triple.
Dude, that's originally a games event.
Yeah, no, I know.
Dong. Okay,
I
good.
know. 2014, I remember Rich walking on it. But
yeah, and then 2018, it was at the last year of the regionals.
Jake is hilarious, dude. No, Ty is a good friend, but we do not vacation together.
We have not vacationed together now.
That's weird.
Where would you guys like to vacation together?
If somebody gave us a free trip, I'll go anywhere with anyone. I'll go roll with Ty. I'd go to Mexico with Ty.
Mexico.
Which
Of all
part?
the places in the world.
That's a
Mexico.
good point.
What, Tijuana? Would you go to Tijuana?
No, it's too crazy there. I don't like going too far is the problem. It'd have to be a short flight overseas. I don't want to be in a plane for like 10 hours.
Where do you live, Grant?
I'm in Kansas, so I'm fine with going like to the East Coast. Yeah,
I'm in Missouri.
Yeah, he's like 3.5, 4 hours from me. Damn. Yeah, we'll probably work out together at some point.
You guys can go to Florida.
It's a long drive. It's a long drive to go get beat really, really bad.
Go to the
Ty
mountains.
does stuff I can't even do. No, that's weird.
I love the mountains. I love snowboarding, but I don't do it all the time. It's so expensive.
Yeah, I haven't skied in forever. My body probably can't even do it anymore. I'm sure I can. It would just hurt. All right. So to sum this all up, I think it's absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to say that and I know Rogue is always fun, but it kind of makes me look back at the games and be like, it kind of did suck. That's what I think when I see this, to be honest with you. Does anybody else get, at least without being disrespectful? Does anybody else get that feeling too?
Wait, you're talking
when they
about the
look at
programming
this?
versus the games programming?
Yeah, I think it's more balanced than the games. And I know we didn't have 2 events, but I still disagree.
Why do you say it's more balanced? Every event is just
Well,
heavy as fuck.
That's a good point. I do think it actually airs heavier. And we need to have somebody, you can't have it just be all heavy crap. It is too heavy. If you're doing the CrossFit Games, it should be as balanced as possible, right? It shouldn't be too heavy and it shouldn't be too light. We should see longer events. We should see cardio involved, but we shouldn't see every event being super heavy either.
I like the programming. The only thing it's missing for it to be like a test of fitness would be like, a long modality of something, like a long run, long swim, something.
Grant is just bummed that someone died. Yeah, I am bummed someone died.
Yeah, I think I don't know
experience.
Wait, so you're the reason why? You're the reason why someone died, Grant? You jinxed it?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Damn, asshole.
Yeah, kind of. I get that. But it's not that it's better. I'm not saying that at all. I think James Sprague is the fittest man alive. That's the test everybody prepares for. That's where you go in with your absolute mental focus. They're all going to Scotland, they're buying donuts, they're drinking beers. Like,
I don't know. To call this the Pro Bowl is pretty insulting. Or is he referring to the Rogue as being a Pro Bowl?
Because yeah,
Pro Bowl
the Pro Bowl sucks. But what he's saying is the Pro Bowl is supposed to be fun. The home run derby is fun sometimes. He's saying this is the fun event. The CrossFit game is he is a married man, Jake. Hey, so look, check this out. I think that all it does for me is say, man, the games could have been a little bit heavier, and it is kind of boring in comparison to this. I'm not saying you got to do all the strongman stuff or do all the flashy stuff necessarily, but I wish some of these events were at the CrossFit Games too. Let me see. What do we got?
Yeah, I think we missed a really fun event with the squat, snatch, ring, muscle up. I don't know necessarily about the sledgehammer, just because I think at least the videos I saw of the athletes doing it didn't look like it'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I think the programming at the games this year is a little overhated, but that's another conversation. I like this programming a lot. I agree with Pool Boy though. I think like if we had a long swim, bike, or run or something, then it'd be super balanced. But Rogue always favors the heavier athlete. That's okay because it's not the CrossFit Games.
Yep.
And they want to put on a show. And this year being with the strongman, I really hope that the strength event is something fun, like we talked about earlier.
I agree.
That'd be so sweet.
How would you like to see bench press? Would you like to see bench press?
Alex Kazan would love to see bench press.
Oh, that's for sure.
I don't know, like a 1 rep bench.
We never do it. Why not?
Like a 1 rep bench.
Yes. Why not? Like, it's part of fitness. It's a huge part. Like, the first thing guys ask each other, what do you bench? We're supposed to be the best at fitness. That includes bench.
I like dumbbell bench in high volume in CrossFit. I do not like barbell bench in CrossFit.
Yeah.
I think Alex Kazan, it'd be cool to see her throw out like 275 to 300.
Maybe 300.
But aside from that, like, I don't like that as a max event.
Yeah.
There are some lifts that I just don't think should ever be a 1 rep test, and bench is one of them.
Yeah.
Spoken from a man who benches under 300, I'm guessing.
Me? No way, baby. My 1 rep.
Oh, really?
My 1 rep is 310.
That's impressive. All right, I like it. I take it back. I respect.
But I got short arms though, so
I don't care. It doesn't matter. You still bench it.
I'm with you there. I got short bicep.
You were 335 times 2, was it, when you went heavy a few months ago?
Yeah.
It's a good bench, man. That puts you up there. I think that's similar to what
Chandler's got in the tank.
Gosh.
I saw him throwing up. Was he throwing up like the 150 dumbbells the other day on his Instagram? Something ridiculous.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
No, 100%, Augustus. It doesn't make you fit. There's people who can bench press a ton that when you hear them walking upstairs wheezing, you're afraid they're going to die in the next 3 years.
I guess for Rogue, it could work because like they're not trying to like test or like crown the fittest or anything like that. But
maybe other total. We don't have a heavy clean in this competition.
I like other total. That'd be awesome.
Bench clean overhead squat.
That was other totals fun.
But
That'd be cool.
I don't think they'd do a standalone bench at Rogue.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they will be using kgs, won't they? Gosh, I'm gonna have to add everything up in my head. Hey,
is that
people in the
confirmed?
chat.
They're going to be using kilograms?
I don't know. Hey, Augustus, it's 335 times 2. The last time he did 335 for 2 reps is his bench. Hey, what in the chat? If you guys know, I saw it streaming on YouTube and the website. Is the paid access for extra stuff, and it's free, or do you have to pay to actually see it? If anybody knows, let me know in the chat.
You talking about Rogue?
Yeah, I want to watch it. Yeah, I saw that there's something $25 for whatever access, and then I didn't read anymore.
Yeah, I think that's for the alternate broadcasting, like commentating.
Bye, Augustus.
Are they having like guest commentators on or something?
I think it's like the one that Josh Bridges does.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I don't need that. I just want to watch it. The tailgate stream. Got it. Okay. All right. So in summing this all up and getting us all out of here, that was one thing I want to talk about, just that versus the games and kind of our thoughts on that. But let's go winner or podium. Jake, I'm fine with KGs. I'll give you KGs. I will not give you the way you say 6. People from Britain can't say the word 6th very well. It's like in Scotland, apparently. So there's words they struggle with, because if you guys study history at all, what happened actually was that when we defeated them, when they tried to take us over, and we kind of sent them tail between their legs, and George Washington is a patriot, they went off and made their own little language, like to sound smarter. The accent, they actually orchestrated that in order to sound better than us, because they were upset about losing, and now they can't say their own words. If you study the history, that's exactly what it will tell you. You guys believe me, right? No. Okay. Anyway. All right. So, winner or dark horse. I'll go first since I know the least. I'm not going. A lot of people have been saying Laura. I'm going Tia. She is back. She's looking good. I'm going Tia. I think that's an easy pick as well. And then on the men's side, man, it is really tough, isn't it? Like you got Fikowski's last run. Does that make you go harder, or is it harder? Well, let me ask you guys, what do you guys think mentally? Does that give you the push to want to win once more? It's not the games. I mean, or do you think he comes out? You think you'll see a better performance out of him, or potentially be tougher to keep up, knowing it's not the games and it's your last performance?
I just don't know in the sport of CrossFit if you can will your way to outperforming very much. I think there's a little bit you can do mentally, but I mean, I don't think we're going to see superhero Brent Fikowski, who lays it all on the line and suddenly wins workouts he has no business winning. But I mean, he was going to win it before the last event at the game, so you can't count him out either. I think he's podium material. But I don't know if, because it's his last hoorah, if it'll have an effect on his performance. But he's always in the podium conversation, because 3 months ago he was, about staying on the podium.
Yeah.
Or
the men's
finished third.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Brent is only retiring because of the whole PFA stuff, and
he said that's why. Yeah. All right. So we got Vellner. He won last year. He doesn't look like he's slowing down. He's a possibility. You got Down and Hopper. It's so hard to pick on this one. Even Chandler. I mean, where Chandler was at right before he went to teams.
Chandler's not going to win. There's no way.
No, I know he's not going to win. I'm thinking more podium, but I'm going to pick a winner. So I said
he's not even going to podium. He'll be like top 8.
I said
top
Tia,
9.
and then you got Adler, and you got Ricky.
Adler stands no chance.
I'm going to say I'm going to say Hopper, and I know that's not a likely pick for a lot of people. They may say podium for him or top 5, but I'm going to say Hopper and Tia. Those are my picks. Ty?
I think Tia on the girls' side. I think Haley will stand on the podium. Maybe. Actually, it just depends what those other two events are. If both of them are heavy, then maybe not. But she looked super good at the games. I think Tia, Gabby, and Laura are a safe bet for the podium here.
Agreed.
And then for the guys, I think Dallin wins it. I think Ricky comes in second. I think Fikowski gets third. I think you got Vellner and Chandler and Medeiros all clawing at that fourth spot.
What's he mean by this? Is he saying it's not turf this year?
I think it's all turf. The video I saw, but it could have been just really well kept grass.
Okay. Yeah, I mean Medeiros is interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Medeiros has got a shot at podium, but
yeah,
I just don't know about winning. He won it last year though, right? Because he sniped Vellner.
Vellner won it last year, I think.
Yeah, it was Vellner last year.
The year before.
Was it 2 years ago that he sold on Grace? Yeah.
What did they do for Grace? I don't remember that.
Just heavy Grace.
Just heavy Grace.
Okay, that
and
okay.
He like came
I
out
do remember
so hot and blew up.
Yeah. What they did 225?
Yeah, he failed one, I think.
Interesting. Right. He's allergic to grass. He's blamed it on not qualifying before. Interesting. There will be no grass, which has been a kryptonite. I'm going to go ahead and say that's not going to be a factor.
Yeah, that's interesting.
All right, Pool Boy, who are your picks to win or podium? Either or.
For the podium, I got Danny Spiegel winning. I got Haley Adams in second. I'm just kidding.
I was like,
no,
what?
Dude, I'm kidding, dude. I think it's gonna be Tia, Gabby Magala, yes, and then I think, man.
Oh,
shoot, I'm looking at the women right now.
You want to pick somebody other than Laura?
Yeah, I don't like Laura. She blocked me on Instagram too.
This is not a biased pick at all,
dude. I think I'm gonna real dark horse Taylor Williamson. She's gonna get third.
I like it.
Really? I have her in my top 10. Like, she's a stud.
Yeah, she's a freak, dude. And then for the men,
wow.
I think dude, Williamson is really fucking good. I think for the men, it's going to be Justin. I think Justin's going to win. I think these are very good events for him. I think Hopper is going to get second, and then third will be Ricky Garrard.
I like it. Those are interesting picks. I'm super excited to see what happens here. Guys, we've got barbell spin coming up, and I know everybody from here will be watching there anyway in 12 minutes. So we might as well just end this. I appreciate everybody who came, and I appreciate your guys' time. And I'll talk to you guys just for 2 seconds after we end this. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.